Dang, it is straight up 2 o'clock. Hey, and I went live. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of music. I'm about to educate some folks right now, but I am going to go into a music. Yes, come on, Shaka. Shaka.
I look in your eyes and I can see that love so dangerously. You're not trusting your heart to anyone. You tell me you're gonna play it smart. We're through before we start, but I believe that we've only just begun. When it's this good, there's no saying no. I want you so I'm ready to go. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. Through the fire, through whatever comes my way. For a chance at loving you, I take it all away. Right down to the wire, even through the fire. I know you're afraid of what you feel. You still need time to heal, and I can help if you'll only let me try. You touched me and something in me new. What I could have with you. Now I'm not ready to kiss that dream goodbye. When it's this sweet, there's no saying no. I need you so I'm ready to go. Through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. For a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. Through the fire, through whatever comes what may. For a chance at loving you, I take it all away. Right down to the wire, even through the fire.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. Hello. Hello. I'm sorry. Forgive my scruffy voice right now. I just woke back up because I was like, oh my God, putting together that bookcase. And I got a review coming up on that bookcase too. that I got from Amazon. But I don't know if I don't know. I think I need to let people know. Like, I think it's a cute bookcase, like the style. But I'm gonna talk about it, about putting it together, and it's weird, but so yesterday, sorry y'all, I just took my allergy medicine like 2 minutes ago, so I might snarkle for a minute, but not as bad as usually. I think it's because it's damn carpet. Personally, carpet is disgusting. I hate carpet, y'all. I absolutely hate it. All right, so y'all, you know, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I take very seriously my craft. I love being a witch. You know, sometimes when you're a witch, it seems like you got to be a little bipolar because you got to be, you know, one way one day, and then sometimes you got to, you know, be kind of bitchy because some people just really they feel that they can be disrespectful to us and our businesses and our practices. But there is this witch that for some reason on here, like I think that she is, I don't know if it's jealousy or what the hell it is, but you know, I I know that I wouldn't believe that a witch's influence is that powerful as they try to make it look when they have crackheads attacking you. Okay, now they're just just hear me out here. Okay, um, it doesn't take much to get a crackhead to attack somebody. You know, a lot of times, if it, and I hate to use that term crackhead, honestly, y'all, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've had people in my family that have suffered from addiction. And it really does affect the endorphins in the brain. And, you know, I think that when you are so butthurt and jealous, that's another thing, is that jealousy is a disease, y'all. I don't get the image of sound, like a sound ethical or either a witch that has any kind of power needing to do some of the things that I've seen this person do. And there's certain things that I just wouldn't do, okay, to represent myself or my company. I just wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the reasons why I have had the success that I've had so far, and I will keep having it. This is something that I plan to do for the rest of my life. But here for like the past 6 years, I guess this so-called witch and her influence over drug addicts and crackheads and people that are willing to do anything for $5. You do not, first of all, as a witch, again, your spirits bring you clients. That's how it works. Now, I'm just going to venture out to say this. I'm sorry. I think that maybe my existence on YouTube as a witch exposed maybe a fake witch, or maybe she's not a fake witch. She couldn't be a fake witch, but you know, here's my whole thing about it. Whether or not you're real or not, I feel that witches should do something for their own defense whenever you have a large group or people that are against you. I think that you should. I think that even if it's somebody that is, you know, even if it's bullshit, I think that it can have, because I'm gonna be honest with you, most witches are not really giving a damn about the situation, honestly. But I think it's all about being that we're in social media, and it's the influence that, or maybe perhaps the social influence of the situation. You know what I'm saying? And how people can possibly take advantage of people. I think that if you are a witch that is practicing, because it's not even about, okay, it's not even about the people being crackheads. It's not even about that. It's about the fact that you would think that you would even believe that you would even have to do that. I mean, honestly, when you're authentic and genuine, you don't have to go through all of this. You're not jealous. Like, I've never heard of okay, I guess a witch could be jealous. Growing up, I would see people hate on people with money and people that were very wealthy. I would see that. And you know what I would think? Even when I was a little kid, I would think, wow, why I can't see why I should be jealous of somebody that may have more than me, financially. So, and I think that a lot of people, they actually have a serious problem, and it's a serious issue for some people to think that somebody may have more than them. So I believe that that is a gift within itself. I think that not being jealous, because a jealous person is weak. Okay, jealousy is a weakness, especially if you out here in the world, boys and girls. If you have a problem with being jealous at all, that's something you need to work on, because that's a weakness. And I've even noticed that people that are very jealous, they will try to project that onto you in some kind of way. And it's like, I don't get jealous. And my life path number is the number 8. So I'm a number 8 life path person. I don't know if y'all know what that means. Maybe we can get into that. Maybe we can get into life path numbers, maybe I'll do that in another show, because I can't put together the other bookcase right now because my helper is asleep. So, I'll have to wait until my son gets up so that I can put up the other bookcase. So I'm cool to come on here and just, do something else other than do that, because I ain't trying to push myself. That first one that I put up was a doozy. For somebody to be jealous of somebody, like, honestly, if I were to, when I see people that have money, it just motivates me. I'm motivated by money. I'm not upset about money. And I think that a lot of people have a very, very unhealthy relationship with money. And I think that people need to get over that. There's a lot of people that need to get over that. It's, jealousy problems have ruined people's individual lives. And I've noticed that, just in my own observation with people throughout my whole life, that people usually that are not benefiting financially the way that they would like, they typically do have a jealousy streak. So my whole life, I've observed this, people showing hatred for famous people. There was a lady, let me bring up one of the most famous people that people hate on, Beyonce. There was a lady that made a video saying that Blue Ivy was a doll. That's pretty, you know, I think that there must be other symptoms that go along with that jealousy trait. It's gotta be a bad spirit, and that spirit usually keeps that person where they're at mentally, physically. I feel, look, remember when I did that live? I did a live yesterday saying that their jealousy, their hatred is gonna kill them. When it kills you to see somebody else winning, what in the world? And I feel that it's a spirit because a lot of the times, and I'm gonna tell y'all something, y'all women, about your man. Okay. I believe that men can be temporarily insane. And so you have to take things with a grain of salt. I think that, when somebody is literally upset at you for manifesting your birthright in this world, our careers are very important to us. Being career oriented, if you are going to be a successful person, you cannot be jealous of others, because guess what that's going to do? You're going to go out there and you're going to be totally distracted by other people while you're trying to focus on your stuff. You're going to see other people that are doing good, but you're going to be so enamored by those people that you can't even focus on what you need to focus on to be successful in life. If I had a child that was like that, I would seriously be working on that. Like, I believe that some of these people that are like that, like jealous-hearted people, I believe that this has got to be either a learned behavior or perhaps a spirit that was put into these people that was going to ultimately lead to their demise and them making a complete fool out of themselves in society. Y'all got to remember that ever since you were in your mama's womb, and you would think that your mother would have been protecting you from that spirit. Ever since you came out, and it depends on who your mother is. I talk about my mother sometimes, but I really believe that there was a lot of bad spirits that my mother did protect me from. Evidently, because I can go anywhere and make it. You know what I'm saying? Even though I got into it with my mother. My mother told me when I first got down here to Georgia, she said, "You are a pioneer woman." She said, and she wasn't lying to me. She wasn't lying to me. Like, I honestly believe that, maybe she overcame or possessed by a spirit or something later on. I don't know. But, it's about, it is about being a survivor. Absolutely. And being able to survive in any situation. When you are a mother, and there's a lot of mothers out there that are traveling and relocating with their children, you guys possibly need to get yourself in a better situation to where you may want security for your children and your family. And I think that it's important that if you are trying to manifest security for your family, that you don't be insecure. Jealousy is a sign of insecurity. And this is exactly what you're going to have your entire life if you are a jealous person and you can't focus. Even when you're dealing with these men, you can't allow men to be a weakness like that to you. You know, and seeing this person do this for like the past several years and seeing several people do it, it's, you know, I don't let bad spirits touch me. Just to let y'all know, like I'm on my computer, like I got like an arsenal of stuff around me. Y'all know how I do my work. Okay. Because I do authentic witchcraft. And this is one of the reasons why consistently, even though I've had people online coming at me sideways, I've still been able to manifest even alone, even if there's those moments where you may feel alone, you may feel like but I think it's important to have a balance within yourself. Even though I'm a woman, I don't know, because why is it that we have to call strong, powerful women masculine? Why are women like me considered to be masculine? There's no way that, like, I think it's, I don't know, like, okay, so I would never do anything or say anything to a woman or just attack a woman to try to make it more difficult for her to go out in this world and make it. I would never do no shit like that. I wouldn't. And I'm telling y'all not to go to a witch like that, because you can't trust them. You can't. Trust is a big thing. Okay. And you first of all, you can't actually call yourself a witch, because witches are much wiser than that. Like, we got too much stuff to do. Like, I swear to you. And I just want to warn y'all about certain people. I don't know if it's that older lady. I kind of think that it is. She was saying she was gonna break somebody down. Y'all, that's called someone with deep insecurity. And what did I do? What did I do? All I did was upgraded my business. All I did, which I didn't know it was against the law to do that. They act like you've committed a federal crime just because you upgraded your business. They don't even want to acknowledge. Ooh, I like this. I'm gonna have to start using these more often. These are them rock crystals. I'm gonna have to look this up and see what the magical properties is. So I would be very leery of some of the people on here, just to let y'all know, as far as if you're looking for authentic spiritual work. I feel like it's a total oxymoron. Okay, and that is my humble opinion. I feel that it's an oxymoron for somebody claiming to be very, very powerful, but yet you're intimidated by the world so much that you try to influence others in a negative way, which is bringing negative things into their life. But again, because somebody had emailed me saying that I'm not even going to go into detail about it. But there's this lady on here. She's very emaciated, very, very mentally ill and on drugs. And like, why would you send me a video to my email of a person that is literally strung out on drugs? Like, how would that person be able to judge even their own behavior in that moment? Who cares? Not saying that we have to just discount somebody just because they're on dope, but especially when it comes to social media, Like, I've noticed that there are some people on here, like, they will turn on their camera and just say anything for 20 bucks. Those people are at the bottom of the barrel ethically. Those people are probably even at the bottom of the barrel morally. To be a judge of anybody's character, and see, that's why I said to a lot of y'all, you know, especially like when you in school and stuff, or if you're young, or if you are somebody that might be dealing with people, you got to consider the people that are saying what they're saying about you. This whole thing to where, you know, nobody wants to be involved with low life activity, but this whole thing with people roasting people, or, you know, just turning on that. Why would somebody be upset or bothered or even care about things that aren't even the truth? And when you find yourself in a position where you're so jealous of another person that you have to go and listen to a lie about them, like, it just makes no sense. And for you to support those lies and to have to live within the delusion of a lie. I am way too, man, and see, this is where people get it twisted. I don't know if people noticed, but there was quite a huge energy shift that happened. And I think maybe these people didn't make the jump. Is that safe to say that maybe they didn't take the leap, or maybe they got left behind or something? Who is doing that? Who is doing that? You know, nobody that has anything that you would want. And a witch will absolutely, if a witch that is offering work to you, that has the power or the know-how to open up blocked portals for themselves, and to, you know, perform spells and rituals, and for them to actually work, why would somebody have to do that? Like, why would somebody that has the ultimate power and the answer and the key to the freaking universe, and access to the spirit realm, you know, I think that is where somebody could possibly be trying to emulate a real witch. But I don't really believe that this would be considered a witch. I believe that there is mentally ill people on here that have people placating their mental illness seriously, because I have built so much with my company just in the first 6 years. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know, I know for a fact that I am a direct inspiration to many, many witches out there because of the success that I have and that I continue to have, okay? This is not a joke. Like, hold on, let me see who this is in the chat. Let me make sure somebody ain't trolling. I'm doing pretty good. I got a bunch of sleep earlier, so I'm feeling pretty good. I was really, really tired earlier. Some of these folks on here are just mentally ill. I swear to God, you know, that is a mental illness, okay? Listen, I was listening to the situation, and that is a mental illness. Whenever, like, that would be like me coming on here saying nobody else can call themselves a witch because I'm a witch. You got that from me. Why would I do that? So that to me, I think that when somebody is that broken down to the point where, they literally, first of all, if you're doing spells, like witches are typically very responsible people. I'm responsible for 5 little ones, and they are depending on me. I'm a mother. Okay, I'm a mommy. My babies need me. They are constantly calling me for things that they need, all of them. And, all 4 of my children are very respectful of me too, because, they have seen me um, do some amazing things over the past 5 or 6 years. So, and you don't have to necessarily be a witch. You don't have to work as a witch or a reader, but a lot of y'all are, or either you want to, and I've inspired a lot of people. And so I love my life. I love the fact that I did leave, the workforce to, start my business. And I feel really good about what I do and the services that I provide for people. And I would, for me, being, I feel like I'm an advanced witch. I guess in another 4 years, I can call myself a veteran. In another 4 years. I already call myself a veteran though, but there should be no need ever as a powerful witch for you to go out there and attack, younger witches, not even to initiate them. Not even to initiate them. I don't believe that should be that seemed more like a gang initiation or something. You know what I'm saying? Which is very different. It's very different. Hey Chantel, hello. Look for like the past week, which like all of that is getting ready to come to pass. I've just been losing my freaking mind because I've been setting up like my work area and stuff and my family's eating area. And I'm feeling really good. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and then I'm also very wise about certain things, guys, and when certain spirits do pop up. So I think that just having spirits doesn't make you a powerful witch. I think that being able to control those spirits, which doesn't necessarily mean controlling other people. People are going to get, out of sorts sometimes. That's just like somebody that I care about was talking crazy to me. You think I'm going to sit up here and like go all off into some kind of despair over it? It's kind of like one of those things that happen. You got to be able to recognize that and keep yourself stable and balanced. I've dealt with a lot over the 6 years. Over this last 6 years, you know what I'm saying? And everything that I went through made me wiser and stronger. But I also believe that the constant nagging and negativity does need to stop at some point, and people just need to give up the ghost. That's what a lot of us mean when we say give up the ghost, because it just doesn't make any sense. So, there is nothing petty about being a witch. Being a medium or maybe even a psychic, just existing as a human, which within itself. But I think being a witch and saying, hey, I know how to keep my house in balance. Oh, okay, yeah. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, that situation is crazy. it definitely did sort of trigger me. And I think that people be like, oh, she's triggered. Let's strike when the iron is hot. And it's like, what are you doing? You know, as a woman, we go through a lot of different emotions and feelings, and it just doesn't make any sense. You know, people's focus as a woman, yeah, that's something that really concerns me. And then also being that I would like to become a doula as well. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why somebody always thumbs down when I say that I want to be a doula. Like, it's almost like why is that such a trigger for somebody to say that they want to be a doula for pregnant women? Like, I think that we as women need to start focusing on helping women and these babies in this world. That's one of my focuses in life. So I don't know why these people hate children and women and pregnant women so much. Like, this is one of the things that the witches are gonna bring back. They already have brought back midwifery. Yeah, we've already brought back midwifery. And you know what? We're in the hospitals too. They hire us at hospitals, midwives. My great grandmother, Big Mama, was a midwife. Yeah, just kind of part time. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I actually have pregnant clients right now. I'm not a doula for them, but they're pregnant. Yeah, I've got a few pregnant clients. One of them don't even know she's pregnant yet. So, you know, it just, I don't understand the issue with that. You know, women, and here's what I want to tell you. I believe that whoever thumbs down was probably a man. And some of these men are used to seeing women hate other women. That's the one thing about me as a witch. I do not hate other women. I'm not a lesbian, but I don't hate other women. Like, there are some women who are so jealous, and I believe that these men sometimes grow up with women like that because, you know, maybe it's something that they're not used to seeing. You know, I took care of my daughter while she was pregnant, and it was really a trip because I had like all of her pregnancy symptoms, and I just kind of absorbed all of her fear so that she wouldn't be scared. Because I had so much anxiety. Y'all don't even want to hear about the hospital ride down to the hospital. It was a trip. I had midwives and doula when I had my kids. Yeah. I mean, it's all about, I don't, maybe that was, I don't know. You said that they're more caring and nicer than nurses. You know what? I think that it's good to have somebody that is there to sort of be a voice for the mother that's giving birth, because I can honestly tell you that when a woman is giving birth, even if she has her husband there, you know, it's still a very sensitive situation, you know. Yeah. And what I've noticed is that especially this witch on here, that's been getting crackheads to attack me, she doesn't empower women at all. And it's so obvious. Like, it's so obvious. Be careful with women that are like that. Those are women you can't trust, and men can't trust those kind of women either. A lot of men will think, oh, well, you know, you're representing a man. Real men don't act like that. We know that either you must be temporarily possessed by the devil or something, because what is your problem? This woman has consistently been running around here trying to act like, oh, I'm for the women, I'm for the witches. But she isn't really, because she's been getting, these people to attack me. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, you realize who I am, right? That's crazy. Luckily, I have been a very strong woman. And I think she said, I'm going to break you down. No, hun, you're not. You're not. I can tell you just personally from spirit, from what I get from spirit, is that people like that really have no power. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not really patriarchal to disempower women. In fact, patriarchy, that's not what that is. So I think those women, they'll, and it's like, okay, you decided that, because I go and watch her from time to time, and she calls herself being in direct competition with me. Like, for some reason, as soon as I started talking about having an apothecary, all of a sudden she was showing she had one, and and then all her crackhead minions began to attack me. One of them was even in my chat room the other day, and I didn't even acknowledge her in the chat. I just ignored her, and she went and made videos about me. Every time I block this chick out of my chat, she goes and makes videos about me. And it's like, it's not that difficult to control the mind of somebody that is on drugs or either mentally ill. That's weird. And a person that is participating in stuff like that cannot make a spell work. That's not somebody's spell. That's somebody that's on a, this person will try to make it look like, oh, this is the direct result of my spell work. No, it's not. You haven't cursed anybody. This person, and literally, as a Black woman, this person was trying to oppress me. And you can even tell that, that is her goal. I'm starting to even wonder if she's even a real authentic woman. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Her first name is Vanita, and then a couple of others, I think. This has been a 6-year game that she's been playing, and I already explained to her that witchcraft is not a game. People need to realize that. And so they'll say, oh, I'm so powerful, and she'll say, oh, I'm so powerful and I'm so gifted, but I'm jealous of High Priestess Jamila, and I'm gonna come in and set things into motion to attack her by these people that it's not real authentic spiritual work. It's just a group of people repeating a script. And she calls herself spirit tree, but she's not a spirit tree. She's not. When I first got like it's ridiculous, and I'm like, girl, I'm like, that is so stupid. Like, and then will send me emails, ha ha ha, a crackhead did a video about you. Who the hell cares? Yeah, you're right, Green Tea. You're right. There's a lot of witches, though. Everybody knows my first and last name, so because I have nothing to hide. You know what I'm saying? I have absolutely nothing to hide, but I think that it is extreme mental illness when somebody repeats a behavior over and over again like that. And it's all based upon their insecurity. Somebody like that can't manifest and is I don't know. I think that that's I'm just starting to see the fraud in some people, honestly, and will try to make themselves look like, oh, well, I'm initiating you. Well, first of all, you've got to have permission. Kind of was trying to make it seem like I got my stuff from her, even though I don't operate the same way that she does. And I even had pictures of my grandmother, and none of them look anything like her. And very, very evil and spiteful. You know, unfortunately, I got the opportunity to talk to this person. And I'm going to say my piece. Years ago, she had gotten mad at this other lady that was mentioned too. And I don't have anything against this lady or her son. Never have. But I remember being on the phone with her, and she had got mad because this lady had gotten flown to, it was either New York or California. Somebody had flew her somewhere to do something. I think it was some kind of speech, or she was supposed to speak. Oh, she was speaking she was speaking somewhere, and she wished her plane to fall out of the sky. And I was like, damn, just like, and then you know what I was thinking about? I said, well, she's your target, but did you think about maybe there could be like maybe other passengers on this plane that you're wishing to fall out of the sky? Like literally, I think I had gotten on the phone with her, and I think I had said something to her about, oh well, she was talking to me about her going to speak at it was some kind of event that she was invited to go speak at. Yeah, it was like an event that this lady had gotten in, and we were talking about it. And as soon as we started talking about it, she said, I wish her plane to fall out of the sky. I said, damn, I hope it crashes and burns. That's how jealous that lady is. So it didn't surprise me when, you know, when she could see that, you know, and she's been stalking me for 6 years. Yeah, you know, that's not a witch, that's a mentally ill person. Yeah, I'll never forget that she said that. And I was like, well, you know what, you know, and don't get me wrong, this lady had kind of, I think that it was manipulation or something, because I had never stalked this lady or her kid or her son. And to this day, I don't really have nothing against her. She don't even talk about me no more. Like, in fact, this lady has moved on. She's moved on. But this older lady that's still hanging around YouTube claiming to be a witch is still stalking me and harassing me, angry and upset. I mean, and she can't be trusted when it comes to witches. She was over there. Look, remember a few years ago when I told y'all she wasn't a real witch, and I told y'all what she was up to? About 3 or 4 months ago, she denounced her witch title. She denounced it. And she was like, I'm not going by the name witch. And I was like, well, you don't say, because she doesn't really like witches. She's full of crap. She doesn't like to see other people successful. And she attacks Black women. And she's a Black woman, very, very dark skinned, with locks. And she knows you know, apparently what a black woman can struggle through. Like, she knows that. And for her to, like, I feel that she's a traitor. I feel that can't no black person trust a person like that. She's sick. She's very, very sick. And you know, I was currently in a beef with her at the time, and you know, even I wasn't upset that she had gotten, like, why would I be upset about that? First of all, even if I had a desire to go and speak at an event, even if I had that desire or a goal to do that, I wouldn't have to hate on her for actually doing it. And so back then, you know, Spiritually was complaining about and literally upset about feeling like she's not being heard, or that she's not getting opportunities, and then blaming it on the color of her skin. So this is somebody that plays victim. Listen, all three of my grandmother and her two sisters, okay, two of them is in the spirit realm. The third one, my aunt, she's still alive. Okay, so the matriarchs of my family, they were all sugar baby brown sugar complected. They were, all of them. None of them I ever, in my entire life, I swear to God, I swear to God, this is not a joke. And this is why it was so weird to me seeing it, which I think is just a ploy for attention personally. I had never heard my grandmother or her two sisters ever complain, not one time ever, about the color of their skin keeping them from being noticed by men or either being successful. Not ever, not once. I've and I knew all of them very well. I grew up around them. So if it would have been a thing, so being dark skinned was just not a thing in my family. So maybe if you're a person that grew up around that type of colorism, or either you suffered that abuse, I'm not saying that women don't go through it. I'm not saying that, you know, there could be a dark-skinned woman that could be getting subjugated for the color of their skin. I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. But for it to be something that my grandmother or her sisters sat and thought about it and thought about it and thought about it and let it drive them crazy to the point where you are wishing death on people just because of the way that they look, that's a person with self-hate. So even if you're a dark-skinned person, you can't really actually trust that lady. And for some reason, she called herself being in direct competition with me for the past 6 years. Yes, it is. In fact, I love, y'all know that I fell in love with a man that's darker skinned. I love, you know, I love black people of all shades. And so a lot of, like, I've heard people say weird things like, I can't trust you, Jamila. And I'm like, no, you can't trust a black person that hates the color of their own skin. That's who you can't trust. Because if that lady hates herself that much, a person's self-love is measured by how they treat others, isn't it? So the fact that she has tried to treat me so poorly throughout the years in social media, the things that she has said about me, the things that she was threatening me, and I'm not afraid of her magic at all, y'all. I'm not. But the things that she has done just because of her dark skin means that dark-skinned people can't even trust her. Because anybody that comes to me as a soul or a human being, first of all, that's not the first thing that I see is the color of somebody's skin. I don't sit here and judge people based upon the color of their skin. somebody that's dealing with something mentally like that. And I feel that it is public mental illness. And I think that people need to quit enabling her. I think people need to quit enabling her. That's all that they're doing. This group of people that are supposed to be all powerful, which they're not, you know, they sit and have freaking meetings about this stuff. And it's like, you know, did your hate stop somebody from loving me? Nope, it didn't. Did your hate stop me from loving myself? No, it didn't. Did your hate stop anybody from doing anything? No, it didn't. So I'm just saying, and I feel that this person displays their real actual mental problems. Like, if I come on here to vent about something that I'm pissed off at, that doesn't make me mentally ill. Like, and mainly what I come on here and vent about is this weird conspiracy where people are scripted. And it's so annoying because I can real recognize fake. Okay, it's kind of like that saying that just because you repeat a lie over and over again will never make it the truth. So I was also born with the gift of discernment. Okay, lie comes out, it immediately gets transmuted if it's a lie. It's a total delusion. You are in a delusion totally. Even if you were an authentically born witch, you would have to be in a delusion for you to, or something mentally would have to be happening in your mind for you to actually turn on your camera and tell the world that if they call themselves a witch, or if they talk about the crossroads, or if they say that they are a spiritualist, that they are just copying you. To me, I believe that that is an actual delusion of grandeur. Because obviously and surely this woman knows that she's not the only person that was born as a witch. Surely this woman understands that she's not the only one that has any kind of personal power. And there's been quite a few people that have been talking about this lady and got mad at me about it. But I'm like, but they're telling you the truth. Because you have been like either attacking people or doing this weird stuff and trying to make it look like it's got something to do with your black magic. Black magic is love. Black magic is not all that hatred. And the focus with my company is healing people, because that's who I am. As a witch, I'm a healer. I'm not one of those kind of witches that would, you know, have a intent just overall of doing harm. And I don't even really believe that those witches would necessarily be given the power. If they had it, they wouldn't be able to hold it. Because when you translate that, when you translate everything that this woman has done to people, including myself, translate to her weakness. It's a weakness. Witches are powerful. That's why they're able to manifest what they do. You know, I personally don't necessarily believe that, you know, what I give necessarily even comes in through a money spell. It's just a sort of like a birthright. And we've heard this person say certain things like, you know, my spirits is looking for souls, you know. What? And you said that publicly? Like, No, honey, you're very, very confused about what it is that all of us are doing here. So it's a total fraud. This person is definitely a charlatan. Facts. You can even go back and look at some of the older videos. Oh, my spirit is looking for souls. No, you're just possessed by something. Because a lot of times as a witch, everybody can sometimes, people make mistakes. Witches are not perfect at all. Everybody can sometimes have certain spirits or energies that can overcome them. But when you repeat and say for years, just, I feel like some people that believe that they are empowering themselves as witches are actually possessed. And they're not possessed by any powerful deity, because you can actually allow deities to possess you. As a witch, you can, depending on what work you're doing, people can do that when it comes to working with even spirits. But why would you be possessed by spirits that are causing you to do embarrassing things to yourself? I'm talking about very embarrassing. That's embarrassing to claim that you're a hoodoo practitioner and to come out and say that your spirits are looking for souls. What? Hold on, y'all. And then even if that is the case, what you've done at that point is you have exposed yourself. I don't know if she didn't realize like what she was saying, and then repeatedly what she's done, because she's the one that exposed herself. What she's repeatedly done is attack me for years because she exposed herself, and it's weird to me. It's very, very weird. And so, no, I would not recommend her as a spiritualist, not even to put, well, first of all, I don't recommend necessarily, unless you're putting a curse on somebody for some kind of justice, maybe that person, may have done something to you or done something horrible. And so I do believe that there are cases where maybe you need to send somebody's negative energy back to them or something. But, just to go around and do those kind of things and just, I'm going to curse you because I'm jealous of you. Like, no. Please stop embarrassing yourself. That's an embarrassment when you threaten to curse people because you're jealous of them. That's like, I feel like that's when a person is falling all the way down. And you can't just be delusional and not acknowledge it. And to just consistently try to disrupt a person's, business or to harass them. Getting people to make videos about them, what is that? That's exactly how this person is operated. And to me, that's not a coven. What in the hell? Some of us witches actually are doing very important work. We've been given some kind of life purpose, to do our part in society. I don't feel as a witch, and this is the reason why this person is under attack, because this person is claiming to be a witch, but trying to create all this chaos. And that's not what it is, okay? But then at the same time, trying to make themselves look like, oh, I'm growing things. A few years back, this person was supposedly growing vegetables or some kind of some kind of vegetable garden, and all of it died, and it was like, girl, lady, you got to get it together, and you got to stop trying to disrupt people's business by using a man. You honestly. Trying to use a man, first of all, I don't even discuss like, I actually, when you think about it, I don't really need to or do discuss my actual personal life on here, because nobody is like all I saw was a bunch of fake stuff that made no sense, that had nothing to do with anything real in my life, honestly. Hey, I am 123. I haven't recognized that, because I know what's real. Like, as far as the weirdness and the whole funny mirror thing, I think that jealousy is a sickness, y'all. Whenever you feel that jealous of a person, you really need to get yourself some help. Because I don't think that you can actually function in society with that kind of self-hatred. There's no way you could function even at a regular job, let alone being on YouTube, where, you're going to see all sorts of people that look different. They're going to have certain stuff you're going to see about them. For you to just continuously do that, like, and to be encouraged to do it. Nobody's telling you that you should not do that. In fact, they're encouraging you to essentially just, make a complete jackass out of yourself, and then trying to make a fool out of me because I got a tattoo. Come on now. I think that I think that in my opinion, when you're doing things like that, you have sunk to an all new low. Especially when you're claiming that you're married, but you're online flirting with men that are 20 years younger than you, or 10, 15 years younger than you. Because now I can really see what's going on. I didn't even realize this person had made videos, I guess, serenading people. So it's like this whole jealousy thing. I think it's really preposterous. Like, come on now. And why would anybody support that? That is an utter embarrassment, in my opinion. That is an embarrassment. That is an utter embarrassment. Just unethical, claiming her husband just so that she can say that she got a husband, but in reality, she lusting after my man. I'm like, why you? I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. I don't know. I have no idea what what a person is going to do, but I ain't, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I'm gonna curse this lady. Like, clearly you are already thoroughly done and cursed for you to have that kind of behavior. I mean, literally since 2015, I'm gonna send you here, I'm gonna send you there. And it's like, somebody needs to be watching this person while she's using her phone and internet. I never would have thought that an older woman, and I want to just say this to the Black community, women like that are the reason why a lot of Black men are messed up. They're the reason why. They're raising these Black men to have so much self-hatred inside of them, and will brag about being a mother I don't think so. Look at the example that you're setting for everybody. Look at the example that you set for everybody and told people that they should covet that low frequency behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's very low frequency behavior. You at the bottom of the totem pole when you acting like that. That's why people don't respect you. I'm talking about people that are potential clients. That's what I'm talking about. There's none of our clients want to work with somebody like that. And so this is the reason why I'm always popping. This is the reason why my business is so successful. Because people recognize who's going to really be responsible with their spiritual stuff. You cannot be responsible or manifest a Crayola crayon. You can't even manifest a crayon for somebody if you are behaving that way out in the open publicly. If you're doing that, there's nobody, and literally for some reason and I think that it was maybe just a little hobby or something. Maybe this person was just, I don't know what it was, but you know, needless to say, there are a lot of witches on here, including myself, that advertise our services on here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And so there's a lot of people that will say, "Oh, well, those YouTube witches." No, it's just that I have a company, and trust me, my company is registered. Okay. And they're very upset about this. There's no way that this person could ever be genuine. I'm sorry that I don't believe you. I really don't. Yeah, black folk need to stop hating themselves so much. And it's all because of colorism. Just to remind y'all, all of this is happening because of colorism. Been happening for the past 6 years. This lady and this group of crackheads have been attacking me online because of colorism, is basically what it's been. And they're so upset that I'm sovereign from that and that I'm above that, that they attack. It doesn't make any sense to me. And here I am, right? I'm up there, way up there. I feel that I'm above these people. I'm sorry. I feel that I'm better than a person that would act like that. And I should. I should. Everybody should have their nose up to that kind of behavior, because, and for you to define that as being black, for you to define that black failure, that's like the ultimate black failure when you find yourself as a 50-something-year-old woman online harassing younger people because they have more than you and because they are more intelligent than you. They may have more spiritual power than you. They may have more ethics than you. They may get more notoriety than you from actual clients. The only reviews that we've seen on this lady is ripoff reports. Literally, that's it. There's been no reviews. Nobody ever has spoke to this lady's power at all, because there actually is none. And what irritates me is that there are younger people, and see, she was complaining. She was actually complaining a few years back about things that were made for kids or not. When you think about younger people, the younger people that are on YouTube that might be teenagers or in their 20s, maybe, they are watching all of us, and some of them, there are young and impressionable people that are watching YouTube, and this woman sets a totally bad example of what you would be of what anybody would consider any Black person, whether or not they're male or female, to be looked up to or to be valued at all. You should never value a woman that hates herself, hates her dark skin so much, hates everybody, just hate, jealous, 50-something years old, petty and childish. I'm sorry. You're just a child having a temper tantrum, literally, just like when you were on the phone with me and you wish that lady's plane to fall out of the sky. And God sitting up here, even if somebody, and I don't think that she deserved to have her plane drop out of the sky. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't believe that lady deserved that. But then again, I was like, well, what about the other people? So rest assured, and people I think that some people are frightened of her. But they're frightened for no reason. It's totally a fraud. Why would you be afraid of somebody like that and their magical spells? There is no magical spells that this person has. None. In fact, if that person actually had that power, they would have lost it a long time ago because they're too mentally ill and hateful to even use a power like that. So she was claiming that she has the power of telekinesis. She's been saying that she's just like in the movie Carrie. She don't have that power. If she were actually born with that power within her is so lost and binded that she would never be able to find it again because she's out of control. Then also, let's not bring up the fact that God does not respect you because God is who made you the way that you are. What is wrong with the way that God made you? So you got to think about that as well. That what she manifested herself as on this planet is the way that she looks, and that's the one thing that she hates. She calls herself an ugly witch. She'll say, "Ooh, I'm ugly." It's like, so you're insulting every other dark-skinned Black woman. And I remember years ago, she went around trying to accuse lighter-skinned spiritualists of hating darker-skinned women. Why would anybody actually hate a person of a darker complexion? Why? Especially not a Black person, especially somebody that was raised like my whole family. So y'all saw the picture of my grandfather, okay, Charles Briscoe, okay, look like he's a high yellow, look like he's Japanese, okay. Then there's people in my family that I grew up with that are darker complected. My family is like a rainbow. We got people very, very light in my family, and then we've got people that are very, very dark. Nobody hates dark-skinned people. I feel like it's a paranoid delusion that this woman has. And I think that people like that have allowed that to drive them crazy because she's allowed it to drive her nuts. She has allowed that to drive her crazy so much that she really cannot function in society. That just by itself. And you can even tell that a lot of the people, like there's certain people that go around, they're avenging dark-skinned people. Why would you need to avenge dark-skinned people? For what? Dark-skinned people are loved. God loves dark-skinned people. God loves all of us. So why would you need to avenge them? For what? What is the problem? So what I do know is that clearly what is needed is possibly not more curses, which is why yesterday I was trying to extend an olive branch, because for me, it does me no purpose. She was talking about how, when she starts beefs with people, people start sending her money, which I don't believe that. I don't believe anybody would send you money for spell work with you in that frame of mind. That's, so for me, I don't manifest that way at all. I don't, it would make no sense. And, also, if you're looking for your channel to grow or whatever, it's called search engine optimization. Look it up. So I think that it's also, it's ignorance. Okay, I have been consistently trying to grow my channel, and it's fine. Like, I'm totally fine with the amount of live viewers that I have. I am a witchy channel. I actually like to keep things where they're at personally. It's not, I get probably, I think I average maybe about, I would say maybe between 60 to 70,000 views per month on this channel, which is plenty for somebody that's a witch. I wouldn't need any more than that. If I were to want more than that, then it would be the sole purpose for me, knowing how YouTube works, is that if I, were monetized and I had, 50, 100, 300, 400 live viewers, the only way that would benefit me is if I were monetized, because then I would get a higher YouTube paycheck. But since that's not my goal, the goal is to attract clients. That's why I'm here. I don't have to lie about that or go, and so a lot of people will try to shame you and say, oh, you're just advertising your business, your so-called business, because you're trying to attract clients. And it's like, well, exactly. Like, why else would we be on here? That's why you see witches and readers, whether or not they're advertising, their readings, or whether or not they're advertising doing spiritual work for you. That's why they would be here. Okay, especially some of the witches that don't have like a storefront. So it's very bizarre to me, to the fact that these people pretend that they don't even know what's going on here. But in reality, that's what it is. That's just like when you see some of these people, and I'm subscribed to them actually, when you see them doing things like, lace front wigs and stuff, or you see them doing wig try-ons, or you see them doing they're trying on certain clothes. And they may have links below where you can purchase it as well. They're advertising something. And so why would somebody have a problem with that? If you had an issue with that, then you could just unsub from their channel. It doesn't make any sense for you to cry for 6 years straight about other people making money that you're not making. So that's another thing. I'm just telling y'all, jealousy and being caught up in color of skin, and that's going to absolutely stop you from manifesting anything that you want. And in fact, you may be able to manifest a little bit, but you're not going to manifest much doing things like that. So take heed to that. If you want to be successful, don't do those types of things. Okay, because the one thing that you have never, ever saw me do is hate on anybody else on here. For what? Hate on them for what? What benefit is that of me to hate on somebody else ever? It's no benefit in that. Okay, so it's, I think that there's a lot of people that this person is at odds with. And what I believe has happened, I'm going to keep it real with you, it's very dangerous to be out here claiming to be a witch when you are really not a witch and you really don't have the power to defend yourself. Because what's happening with this person right now, and why they're crying to me and crying about me and trying to shift the focus on me, and you can't, You're not going to create any kind of shift with a bunch of lowlifes making videos about me. I think what it is that she done came out here and done came across a bunch of real witches that are now cursing her. I'm not even thinking about this lady. I don't care about her. She doesn't matter to me at all. Like I don't know her. I'm not related to her. She's not my family, so it doesn't matter. And I believe what this person has done is they have pissed off a couple of real witches, and those witches are now doing work on her or either cursed her, obviously. That's what I think happened. Because I'm going to tell you something. I was listening to a couple of people that don't like this lady. And I don't think that she can actually really defend herself against what has came towards her. And I've noticed that there's a specific codependency with this person and with a few other people is that whenever they have problems, they're codependent, and they always, to prove that they're big and bad, they're going to pick on Jamila, who is 5'4" tall, a mother, to prove that they're hardcore. What? Nobody believes you. You're being like, I can recognize real. And I've seen some of the people that she has beef with. And you need to be worried about them people that are really throwing black magic at you, because they're not going to ignore you or go easy on you. I've actually went easy on this lady. I ain't did nothing to hurt her or nobody in her family. I don't do stuff like that because I already know that karma and that blood would be on my hands. So I would never ever do no crap like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's out of control. Thank God she ain't got no real power. Because if she would have actually been able to cause a plane to crash, which is what she claims that she can do, she placates very angry and lost people and promises them that she can make somebody die or she can kill them. Oh, God. No, she can't. She don't have the power to kill nobody. Now, I've noticed her very weak psychic attacks, but a psychic attack is not making a whole plane drop out of the sky where you're going to kill possibly hundreds of people. And whose hands do you think that blood would have been on? It would have been in her hands, which thank God her hands ain't got the power to do that. When you think about the witches that have been in business for years and they strictly do what I do, I do this 100. I don't do any other job. You know what I'm saying? If I were to do anything else, I would, possibly do either doula or invest in real estate on the side or something. But other than that, my main focus is my company, is my business that I do, where I assist clients, and have been doing it for 6 years straight with no other job, supporting a family, supporting 5 other people. You see what I'm saying? So, and there's witches out there that have been doing that, and that's exactly the type of witches you got to be careful when it's an actual witch that can manifest on that capacity to where, and it's not bullshit or lies or snake oil. I don't sell snake oil. I don't even sell oils. I don't sell oils at all. Okay, you ain't seen me sell not one bottle of oil. Okay, and so I just think that people need to let that go, because that lady, like, the more and more y'all delude her, the more and more she gonna get messed up by these real spiritualists that are coming after her, and they are coming for her. I could actually do a reading on her and see it in the reading. I'm not going to give her necessarily a free reading. I don't have to go that far. I don't have time for that. But I can tell you that I've seen quite a few people beefing with her, including people that feel that she took their money. Okay, keep in mind that you can find hundreds of reviews from my clients, but the only reviews that you'll find from her is ripoff reports. You don't see no other written reviews for that lady. And she doesn't even bother to show them. And I think that when you are running an internet business as a witch, you have got to make sure that you have that word of mouth or either that particular validation from clients to back you up. Because when I first started my company, she had this group of people that, they were actually leaving fake reviews on, and none of that stopped me. But literally, she has, I don't believe that there's been basically anybody that has actually validated her so-called power. And I think that it's very dangerous out here. And I believe that a lot, like the fact that she's at such a weak point to where she'll be jealous of me, that shows that you're very weak. And the fact that you can't even hide it, you can't even hide your jealousy for somebody else just to pull off your fraud, your scam that you've been doing to people on your channel. You can't even, why would you prove yourself as being a fraud every single time? And that's exactly what those people have done to you. They have done nothing but expose you. And she's gotten a lot of people involved with some trouble, doing very unlawful things, lying, that, oh God. And I'm going to be honest with you, I've been faced with a lot of different issues and obstacles and challenges throughout the years, but am I afraid of it? Absolutely not. There's been things that have happened to me as a result of this that, my spirits are just like, yeah, you've got other things that you need to focus on. Things that are very petty, coming out of that situation. So, I think that there's a lot of horrible things, more horrible things evidently that seem to be happening to this lady that are going to be coming up from what my spirit showed me. As far as, some things that may be exposed about her and her so-called husband is what spirit was telling me, because for years back in 2015, she tried to convince people to not work with me because I was single. And then she tried to tell people that they shouldn't work with me or come to my company because of things that I hadn't obtained yet. But when you think about it, how would somebody obtain anything if that's actually, so that's why you gotta rely on spirit. You gotta rely on your ancestors, because nobody would ever manifest anything. McDonald's wouldn't be a billion or trillion dollar conglomerate, or a lot of successful businesses would not be successful if the people didn't start them. And, and that's kind of a bad example. But when you think about business, they had to start somewhere, as a company or a business, or either if you are a sole proprietor or whatever it is that you offer to people, nobody would have ever done anything by that logic. So when you think about it, it's no logic. It's a very emotional person that can't stand to see anybody else succeed, which means that, obviously, if you became a client, you wouldn't succeed. And this is why a lot of people did rip-off reports, because some people are, they don't have spirits or power. They just have bad energy on them. A person that just has bad energy on them, that are a literal walking and talking curse, that people just want to protect themselves from your bad energy and your demons, doesn't make you powerful. Having the ability to, get somebody to do something negative does not mean that you have the power of persuasion, especially when your persuasion, it doesn't get you anywhere in life and doesn't get those people anywhere in life. Then there's the existence of the misinformation spiritually that this person is giving to people, totally twisted. Most authentic spiritualists would not agree with this person about a lot of things that they do and they say. In particular, there's not really anything spiritually going on. It's just somebody that's paranoid about weather machines and their skin complexion and weather machines and things like that. Now, I do know that, they probably do things to the environment that may be unhealthy for us. But when you think about it, how are you going to fight that when you are at a weakened state to where you're holding on to these very low frequency values that this person obviously represents all day, every day? And then trying to shame somebody, I'm sorry, and I don't know any witch or person that would not have something to say about people consistently, being weird and gang stalking them with a script for 6 years straight. Like, surely a human being with actual real emotions is going to make they're going to have some sort of reaction to that. And I think that the only ability or skill that a lot of these people have, which is very childish, is the ability to say something to possibly upset somebody, which is not any real power, or you can't be notarized for that. Like that doesn't make you a powerful person just because you had the ability to either troll somebody or upset them. You know what I'm saying? That's just like a child trying to get attention by, calling somebody a poopy face. Like, I'm sorry, that's not the way that we operate. And, that person does not represent witches. And that's why that person, I think it was either in 2020, that person gave up and announced that they were not a witch, which I told them that they weren't. That's not going to stop actual real witches from attacking this lady. And getting, these same people that have been attacking me for years to attack me is not going to negate away from the curses that those witches are sending you. It's not. Like, and I saw all kind of violent spirits, things, certain violence happening and stuff, within her so-called relationship. Like, she's gonna have a lot of hell in her life, and trying to project that onto me, which makes no sense. If you were a real witch, then why don't you undo what those people have done to you instead of crying about Jamila? I'm not thinking about you. And bear in mind that when she recently, I guess she had these people that I don't see why people play victim. She's an example of playing victim. I've had problems with people in the past year, Why is this breaking you down to the capacity to where you're so weak-minded that you're attacking me because you see me winning? Because in reality, what happened, obviously, is that this person must have lost something. Obviously, and I don't even care to find out what it is, but obviously something we can see that this person has clearly lost their mind, but obviously something has transpired in this person's life that is messed up. Because I saw the witch that's doing work on you, and I'm sorry, you're gonna have to pay attention to what, instead of trying to, what they'll do is they'll have actual real spiritual problems, and instead of them dealing with their actual real spiritual problems, they'll try to deflect it onto, oh, look at me, I'm over here, harassing Jamila. For some reason, I don't know why these people, in order for them to feel that they like, and I'm like, lady, you better pay attention to these witches that actually did put curses on you. That's not going to be good. She's obviously worried about, I guess, her temple or whatever, but what energy is coming from your temple to where you're so worried about this temple? I don't want to, it's so weird. A person that's supposed to have an actual church would even behave this way. So then you realize that it's just a house of cards that's probably crumbling, I guess. I don't know. Very strange. Okay, so don't go to this specific witch that I'm talking about unless you just don't take your spiritual stuff seriously. If you just playing a game, or you want to go and give the lady a donation, but that ain't no real authentic work that's happening over there, is what I'm telling you. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors and fancy worded words. Just like the other day, she was on there saying, I will curse. She can't curse nobody. And like, you would literally have to be a child to even be afraid of something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just sitting up here like, why don't you go find something to do? Maybe do some knitting or something. But I think she's got terrible karma, because I'm going to tell you something. Going around lying on somebody, that's a real big violation when you lie on people. That's a violation. And I think that people should protect themselves and not bear false witness against people. Because nobody actually respects that lady. They don't. I believe that the people that she has around her, they just feel sorry for her. I feel that if she's going to be, because first of all, she's a colorist, right? And she's dark skinned. Okay. I believe that a dark skinned witch does deserve respect, but she got to be genuine. And that lady ain't genuine, because she don't even like her dark skin. She is not the representation of a dark and lovely and powerful witch to me, because I haven't seen that. I'm sorry. And you know what? I'm trying to think of the other witches on YouTube that are of the same complexion as her. If there are any, you would have to point me in their direction, because if I'm not mistaken, she's literally the only dark-skinned female that I've seen on YouTube claiming to be a witch, if I'm not mistaken. I realize that there's probably a lot of channels that I have not seen. But I think that if she were to represent the Black community, it would be a very, very poor representation of a so-called powerful and dark and proud, strong witch. That ain't it, huh? She definitely ain't no spirit tree at all. She can miss me with that. I'm sorry. And I'm not gonna fall for it. And if you have fell for it, you probably ended up doing a ripoff report on her. Promising people that you can kill folks and stuff like that. Come on, get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? It's lame. It's very, very lame in my opinion. I ain't seen, well, you can thumbs down her, but why don't you show like the clients, like the only thing that we've seen is two people that verified that you were not actually practicing authentic witchcraft. If you go and listen to those two women that exposed her just recently, there was two women that exposed the fact that you're not doing anything authentic at that temple. Nothing. Add that with no reviews or nobody, no testimonials, nobody testifying to your power. Nobody is doing that. Then you end up with less than zero. I mean, even the people that came at me similarly, I've got reviews from them on my Etsy. So it makes no sense. People get angry at people and people lie and people get upset. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. And you have been trying to be in direct competition with me. And black witches, that are coming up, they don't need to look to you as an example. No witch, whether or not she's a white witch, especially a black witch with dark skin, should look to you as setting a good example. I'm talking about as far as the way that you do things, the way that you move, the fact that you are extremely hateful and jealous of other people. What can you teach those witches? Nothing. In fact, there was a younger witch, way younger than you, that had to tell you she claims that she's an elder, but all of these people that are younger than you have more sense than you. They have more intelligence than you. And they're the ones that probably put some kind of hex on you. I know for a fact that I can see this one witch, she put something bad on you. Hey Ella, well, I mean, don't feel sorry for me, unapologetic Ella. I feel sorry for her. But I appreciate you empathizing with the fact that, I've got to sit up here and, juggle all of this. And I've been juggling. It's been definitely a juggling act. And y'all know what they say, in order for you to juggle something, you got to have balance. So I've been lucky to keep myself grounded and balanced, through this whole experience that I've been kind of experiencing. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely bonkers, So anyway, I'm excited about my company growing. And I'm definitely excited about my family growing and stuff. I'm really excited about that because, and it ain't having a baby, it's other things that as a woman, I have been able to give birth to, Ella, you know what? I don't even, you know what? You right about that. They're not human. They don't behave like human beings, but I think it's deep, deep, deep insecurity is what I think that it is. And I think that somebody that has those types of deep insecurities, I feel that they should be exposed because that person will come with, they'll come to other witches channels because I've been watching her. My spirits have been kind of keeping an eye on her. And I noticed that when I come on here and talk about certain things spiritually, she'll go and start talking about them. It's almost like but she's not parroting me, but she's mocking me almost. It's like she's a mock aspect of me. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you that when it comes to witchcraft, race ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm going to tell you whether or not a person's black or white, whether or not they're light-skinned, I've seen people, I've seen this person go around saying that because of her dark skin, that meant that she was more powerful than a light-skinned witch. I've heard her say that. And I'm sitting up here looking at her like, since when? So she'll go around and say, I've got all this power because I'm heavily melanated. And I'm sorry. No. She even tried to convince you that having jaundice meant that you were powerful. She tried to convince you of that. I was like, you've got jaundice. She was sick for a while and had jaundice, and she tried to sell it as if it was making her powerful. And I said, well, you may have a negative powerful effect over on empaths by trying to project your illness onto them. She may have the ability to make people sick, but she can only do that to people that are empathic. So she's been hanging around empaths, claiming to be an empath while having some kind of sickness or illness. I personally think that she's sick in the mind and in the heart. Because I've actually felt her trying to, kind of project that onto me because she's gotten good at doing that. It was even a few years ago, she came on camera and her eyes were yellow. And I called her out on it because she was again attacking and trying to bully me even a few years ago. And I told her, I said, you have jaundice. It looks like you're either suffering from some kind of liver failure or something. And she came back on there, and she's supposedly an ex-nurse. She came back on there and told people that people in the South, that there's dark-skinned people in the South that are very powerful because they have yellow eyes, because they have jaundice. She said that the reason why her eyes were yellow is because they were melanated. Now, a person is delusional in spreading misinformation because I don't give a damn. If your eyes are yellow, you need to drink some water, do something, because that ain't right. That's jaundice of the eyes. She even went on there and said that if a woman, I'm not even gonna bring that up because that's a sensitive topic. Us women, I'm gonna tell you something. I feel that the things that we discuss as women should be between us. I'm not going to come on here and do that. But, she gives bad advice to women also. I think some woman went to her and said, oh, my God, my lady parts is smelling like garbage. What should I do? And she told, the video might even still be up. She told her audience of women, and it might have been even young people watching her, that your vagina is supposed to smell like garbage, is what she told people. And I called her out there and I said, no, If you have a smell coming from there, that's obviously some kind of infection. You need to go get that cleared up or do something. So she gives bad spiritual advice to people, and she gives bad medical advice to people. Yeah, and she's supposed to be an ex-nurse. She claimed, I think years ago, she was claiming that she was a retired nurse. I don't believe her. Because even if I know plenty of nurses that are also natural witches. And if they're going around giving out bad advice to people like that, well, hell, that would make them more so like Nurse Ratchet or something, or Nurse Hatchet. Do I believe in reptilians? I'm starting to believe in that. You know what? I will say this, that I am starting to believe. First of all, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I believe that a few aliens came to the planet. I believe that there's interdimensional demons, and which would be considered an alien. Now, I will say that. Whether or not they're reptilian, I don't know exactly what they are. I haven't really picked up on that, but I do believe in reptilians. Do I believe that reptilians can hurt me personally? No, I don't. I don't really, fear the Reaper. You know what I'm saying? Unapologetic Ella. Um, your faith and your trust in God is everything, in my opinion, because I feel like as long as you got the love of the Most High, you can always beat and face anything, any kind of adversity or diversity. So, as far as, there being any fear behind it, I don't really have that. Okay. And I think that there's a lot of people that do fear this stuff, but I feel that when you step out of that fear, you'll have a much better experience at life, So, but there have been people that have reported that certain aliens or beings or whatever has kidnapped them. I have never necessarily had that experience, as far as with feeling that way, but I have went through similar experiences such as astral rape. So, and I've talked about that quite a bit. I haven't had those disturbances or problems in years. Okay, I personally think that if you are somebody that does have certain, portals or certain things that are in you that open the door for certain beings to attack you, that is where spiritualists like myself can come in, because honestly, I haven't had any of those disturbances. I think it was probably like maybe about the second year of, me doing my spiritual cleanses and my soul cleanses and things like that. Those disturbances slowly went away. So whether or not these beings are being put in our heads to be seen as real, so that we can fear something, which will have an adverse effect on the body, on your spiritual body and your physical body. Because honestly, I don't fear none of that stuff. We're all walking through what does it say? We're all walking through the valley of the valley of the shadow of death, I think it is, and you ain't supposed to fear no evil, especially when you got God like that. I've had people do a lot of evil things to me. I've got, evil trying to do something to me right now. Do I fear it at all? No, I don't. Especially when it comes to, a lot of different things. Just, I don't fear anything. Not really. And that may sound sociopathic. I don't mean to sound like a sociopath, because sociopaths typically don't fear anything. They kind of don't give a reaction to anything. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that, a person that does give a reaction to certain things, I would say that that would, ultimately prove that that person is human, because there's a lot of these demons that will, expect people to act like, nothing is happening, and literally you can. Most of the time I do, because to be honest with you, do I feel that reptilians or aliens or demons are behind a lot of the stuff? Yeah, they are, but do I believe that these people know how to work with these demons in order to do any kind of true harm? No, I don't. And I think that those demons, in my opinion, the ones that do and say some of the stuff to you, I think that as long as you know that you got God and that you are, covered and protected by the Most High, or either the source, or even if it's your spirit guides or your deities or your ancestors, you know what I'm saying? Maybe narcs or reptilian. I think that narcs are just avoiding the inevitable. I think that narcs are just really in denial of certain things, and I believe that they avoid, and avoid. But see, in order to be a narcissistic person, I think that a true narc is not going to necessarily ever admit to their mistakes, is pretty much what that is, okay? Do I feel that they're reptilian? Not really. In fact, a lot of the people that do a lot of the stuff that kind of like what these people are doing, these people are actually very weak when you think about it. And maybe it could be a negative spirit that could be afflicting them. That's all I see is spirits in certain situations. I can see it. And so this is why I have a different experience in my life altogether. A lot of the things that I've experienced that were supposed to destroy me, or either do something else to me, doesn't actually do that. In fact, I won't still be talking about this even later on today. I'm not even gonna, but I think it's important for y'all to realize that some of these people on here, they're not actually authentic spiritualists. They're either pretending to be that, and this is the truth, because they want to be it, or either, they are scammers that are literally doing things to scam people. Or I will go this far. I do believe that there are some people that will go under what I feel is like a deep cover, to where they will pretend to be certain things like a witch, but they're actually not a witch. They're actually very much against witchcraft. And I believe that those people do work for certain churches, because there's a lot, anybody can form their own church or congregation, honestly, especially if you're online. So, and I think that it is very, very dangerous to even claim to be practicing witchcraft when you really don't believe in it. Not really, because I believe that if those people actually believed in witchcraft, they wouldn't have done half of the stuff that they've done. And whether or not you believe in it or not, spirit is going to show you. They're going to show you. And, that's something that I wouldn't even have the time or give a damn about doing. That's something that moves in spirit. And people that, I'm telling you, people that believe in this and they practice it, people go to them because their spells work. That's why people go to them. That's why they have businesses, because they take it seriously. They can do rituals and certain things that will work. But, you know, do I feel that this lady is actually doing authentic spiritual witchcraft? No, I don't. I haven't seen that, not once. And I think that y'all need to take heed to that. And it doesn't matter whether or not somebody likes it or not. It doesn't matter. It's just the truth. And honestly, witches don't have to fight with each other like that. Like, she's ready to fight and battle all the time, you know, but it's a small, minute thing to me. It's not even nothing. It's, to me, it's bottom of the barrel trash. You know, her idea of a ritual is getting a bunch of people that don't have the credibility or the knowledge that I have to make videos about me. That's not a ritual. That's not some higher order of the gods. And I'm going to tell you something else. She's an insult to the underworld as well. So this, I'm just telling y'all, that's why demons end up attacking people that go to her. Because she's in violation even from the underworld. When you think about deities, or if you want to call them demons, when you think about deities like Lucifer or Satan, that to me would be considered even a devil's reject. Okay, so you know the way that she sold it at first was that she was working with demons, but demons don't work at that lower of a capacity. Not the demons that she was claiming that she was working with and what they were doing. Because what she ended up doing was just exposing herself and losing, essentially, it wasn't even really any loss to me. I think that once people realized how disingenuous she was, that is when she had to become basically an internet troll, and that was it. And, you know, I think that it's incredibly stupid to come on YouTube and try to tell people that they don't have the spiritual authority to use their own power for their purpose. And, you know, this person will talk about ancestors and deities. She's over there claiming to have anything to do with Oya. That's an insult to Oya, a direct insult to Oya. And it's a fraud. Because if she had any connection with Oya, would she be attacking me the way that she did? Would she have attacked those women? Would she be having those problems? No, she wouldn't be. If it was any Oya, she fell off and she would never been able to get back up. And that's the truth. And she did it to herself. Peep this out too. Her and this other group of women insulted 80% of the population. So they insulted 80% of our client base. I have clients that are married, but you know what? I got clients that are single too. So you got to think about how limited a person would be when it, especially not just single people, married people too, but single people are they want to manifest, you know, regardless. You know, everybody that's single knows that you still got to eat even if you're not married. So this person essentially discounted, probably, I would say, with the story that she was trying to tell, she discounted 80% of the Black female population and then 60% of the white female population. by trying to play this game online about a man, a husband. She tried to tell a huge percent of the female population that they were worthless because they weren't married. Make it make sense to me. And I even have married folks coming to me to get spiritual work with. My people that are married, they come to me, they have problems too. So being married doesn't just automatically solve all of your problems. You just got a buddy. You got a buddy to deal with those problems with, which I guess would make it easier. But, for a lot of women, it was just an obstacle for them. So, and she alienated herself. A lot of my clients fit a similar demographic as I do, and they have every right to. So you're going to tell all of these women and men, think about it. We got men out here that are unmarried with children too. So the rules apply to them too, though, don't it? Yeah, it does. You've got unmarried men with children out there, same difference. So this is the reason why this person did not do as well as I did, because a lot of my clients, they fit a certain demographic. And those clients, they had the right to improve their lives and their health. So what is she saying? That unmarried women are just supposed to die and their children? So this is when you got to be very careful with a person like that. People love and trust me because I am understanding to their situation, and I am fair. I am very fair and just. You can't tell all of these women that they are worthless pieces of crap and expect to have any kind of real success. That is a house of cards. And I'm not just for the empowerment of women. I feel that a lot of these men, but when it comes to men, they give men a lot of false egotistical power, which is why, you even see them, floating around YouTube being very confused, exposing each other. For example, kind of their Lord and Savior, Kevin Samuels, they exposed that, he was claiming that he had all this money, and they exposed that his income was barely $1,000 per month. And, these men will lie about their income to judges so that they can get the lowest possible amount. So maybe that could have been why, but that's a far cry. And honestly, a person that's making a lot of money, they're not going to really try to get out of paying child support. Not really. If you're making about 10 grand per month, giving your baby mama or your ex $1,000 per month is nothing to you, isn't it? So if you're a man of means that actually has something, you're not going to go to court and lie and perjure yourself and say that you make less money than you actually do, when you can just you have the ability to just take care of your children, right? Unless you're a very selfish, evil man that decided, I'm not going to take care of my kids. But most men that are about something are going to make sure their children are taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And if you have the mental capacity to earn, up in the upper 100,000 per year, if you're actually making six figures, if you got that much sense in your mind to even manifest that amount of paper, you're not going to be a deadbeat father. You're going to be taking care of your kids. Your kids going to be straight. Your children are going to be straight. And so we found out that Kevin Samuels, the only reason why he's even making those videos is because he's upset about, I guess, his baby mama or something, which, it's very embarrassing for these men. Why not actually tap into your power and your ability to actually make that amount of money without trying to exploit women? These men just don't have the ability to do it. Neither does this woman, this supposed woman. So I guess it's supposed to be some kind of battle of the sexes, but we've already talked about this. Men are not going to accomplish anything, and they're going to always consistently lose, and it's going to backfire on you as a man for you to go up against the divine feminine. That's going to be a total disaster for you, isn't it? So men are not empowered by kicking down a woman. They're not. That's not going to, in fact, the fact that they do it in the first place shows how weak they actually are. Okay, I mean, doesn't that make logical sense? It does. It makes logical sense. Okay, so whenever any of them get through, it is what it is, hon. Whenever these people can actually behave like they have even an ounce of intelligence is when I'm going to show any respect for any of them. Okay. So that's the only reason why a lot of those men are doing what they're doing is because they feel that, oh, this woman is a trap. But, when you're a man, you should have the ability to say, without selling dope, you should be able to come up and devise a plan that if you have made those children, you have a way to support them financially. And before you can support your children financially, I'm pretty sure that all of y'all know that you have to be able to support them spiritually. If you have a man that actually kind of believes in, certain religions, especially the Pentecostal church and stuff like that, if you have a man that actually believes that or believes in that, then you're going to find somebody that is going to be at a very bad disadvantage, especially these days. You're at a complete and total disadvantage if you're a man that feels that way. Okay? So, all right, y'all, I've been talking about this for over 2 hours. I'm going to go. I might come back and talk about life path numbers, and we may look at each other's life path numbers. Who knows? Or maybe I'll probably sit here and listen to some music or something. It depends on how I feel. But I'll see y'all later. Have a happy Sunday. And I'll see y'all later. Okay? Choose your spiritualist wiser. And especially choose who you fear, because sometimes y'all could be fearing somebody, and it's, I wouldn't fear the demon of lies. Like, we just don't have no fear of that over here. Okay, we really don't. And do not trust a woman. Do not trust a woman that is spamming and scamming people, that is actually claiming that she's there to empower women when in reality she's a total fraud. She's a total fraud that's actually attacking divine feminines. Okay? I wouldn't want that woman to light a tea light candle for me. I just wouldn't do it, and I've been saying it for years, and I've actually had people that have went to people like that mistakenly, for some reason, and they ended up having to come to me to get all kind of curses removed from them. It's terrible. They had stuff that they needed to be removed or unblocked previously, but if you're out here, and you're like a spiritual baby, you're literally like an infant when it comes to spirituality. Being influenced by a person like that is not going to lead you to your personal power at all. Okay. So, all right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace and love to y'all. Okay. Love and light.